Hi everybody. Completed in 2008, the Hegau Tower is still the tallest, most modern and most unique feature in Singen's architectural landscape. Singen, my hometown, is a very small city in the very south of Germany, next to the border of Switzerland and Austria and very close to the Lake of Constance. With its modern shading screens, the Hegau Tower offers transparency and cover at the same time. Even 10 years after completion, it continues to shape the city of Singen, its structure, its economic development, and its aesthetic. My name is Laurent Burkart, and I'm the junior managing director of our family office. The Burkart Group has been a shareholder of the tower right from the beginning in 2008. We have had our offices in the tower overlooking Singen, myself included, and enjoyed the numerous benefits and qualities of the unique architecture. The Hegau Tower offers 17 floors to different business people from different countries, as I said, from Germany, Switzerland, and Austria.
Sorry for that.
We as a family office are looking back on more than 40 years of experience in real estate. We are proud to have become the Properties My Charity shareholder just at the end of last month. Current projects of our family-owned company include other real estate projects, such as the expansion of the sports clinic St. Catherine in Zagreb, which is part of the leading hospitals in the world, and the Arona Clinic of Geriatric Medicine in Berlin. The Hegau Tower looks back on a very eventful history. Originally initiated by Roland Grundler, the former managing director of the Urban Housing Association in Singen, and with its third change in ownership since its establishment. We would like to usher in a new era for the Hegau Tower, starting right now. From our point of view, the tower offers a lot of unused potentials from which the citizens of Singen could benefit, not only as a landmark, but also as a cultural venue and on an economic level. Following modern working space concepts all over the world, we intend to set up, for example, co-working spaces to further develop the startup culture in the region. As a local family business, it is essential to us to keep our hometown attractive for business people in the long run, and do the ambitious demand of the building justice. The Council of Tall Buildings and this award here for 10-year tall buildings that have been proven to be valuable to the cities and communities is a great honor for us, and we are very happy to be here. We would like to thank the Council for the important recognition and the opportunity. And moreover, we would like to thank Mr. Jahn for its outstanding accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, very happy that we are in this good group of buildings, and to put this building in the context of our work. That building started to get designed a long time before it was actually built or finished. It was a public-private partnership between the city of Singen and some local investors. And it was a building which, I think I have to advance this here. Which which in the context of the town obviously was in terms of scale, bigger than the scale of the Comcast Center changed Philadelphia. Before that building, we were lucky to do buildings like the Comcast Center, like the Deutsche Post headquarters, the Bayer headquarters, the Sorona headquarters, the Highlight Towers in Munich, which are all corporate buildings or buildings which were in a lucrative market, which could be built for a lot of money and still make money. This building here had to be very frugal, and we did this building like we did these other buildings I mentioned, together with Werner Sobeck, who worked on the structure and the facades, and Matthias Schuler from Transolar, who did the environmental and climate engineering. We saw the building as an opportunity, not just to make a sign here for that town, which signaled a transition from an industrial town to a service economy, but we saw the building as an opportunity to innovate so that we could do the building in a quality which is compatible with the other building. And the only way to do this was to eliminate the inessentials, the things you don't need on a building. This coincided with a period where, together with these two engineers, which we called Archoneering, which means breaking down the barriers which often exist between the disciplines. At best, these disciplines become inseparable, and architecture and engineering speak the same language. We wanted to integrate formal, functional, technical, and environmental issues into an architecture which is beautifully crafted and sustainable as well. At best, this construction gets elevated to a level of art. Aesthetics is not the primary generator. Instead, attention to performance on all levels drives the process and the final design. You have to be insistent to push this button. Here we go. So this building examines many different ways how a building can be optimized. And the biggest factor was the facade. The building is about 80 meters tall, is 17-story, has a 5-story lower extension, which is a separate building. And the goal was to design a facade which is actually a dynamic facade, which changes with the outside condition and the way it adjusts to the necessary inside conditions. The building could live without air conditioning for most of the year, and this was done by operable windows and by exterior shades. The exterior shades is an outside skin which in difference to the other buildings I mentioned before, which had a double facade, where the outer glass was left away, and the roller shade out of stainless steel, which has 50% transparency, created the exterior shading, and it was designed because the problem with exterior shading is generally that even on a sunny day with a lot of wind, the shades have to be pulled up, and this shading system, which was developed with a German firm, withstand winds to 120 kilometers per hour. And you see the different conditions. On the left, you see the windows open. The windows are in the spandrels, are flaps which open up. This allowed us to make big pieces of glass, which are about 10 feet wide. And on the right, you see the flaps closed. I don't know, but now I missed one. Yes. On the left, you see the flaps closed and the shades down. On the right, the shades are down and the windows are open. This is the detail. There is a condition where the flap opens, and if there is a comfortable enough air, it goes direct in the room. If the air is too hot or too cold, the inner flap is closed, and it gets through a conditioner and gets heated or cooled. There's an inside shade for glare protection and an outside shade which runs in that rail which allows the big wind forces. The slab is has plastic pipes which heat or cools the slab, and this creates the basic conditioning of about 30 to 40%, which is generally enough to create comfortable temperatures. So this is from a different perspective, and it shows the ever-changing look of the building, which is sometimes, fortunately, overridden by the individual preferences that people can move those shades and they rather sweat a little bit and sit behind in the sun than having the shades down. Now the innovation also in Germany, you know, there's generally rules that everybody has to sit close to a window, and but this was at that time when the tendency also was directed towards improving such a situation because it was very inefficient. So there was a way we manipulated the core to the outside and the inside to absolute minimum, and were able to create an open plan with smaller offices or just cellar offices, and there's obviously also it's possible to have a total office. In the meantime, I found this out a couple of months ago. There's also a hotel with special suites, which has 17 or 13 suites on that room. The elevator lobby, the elevators, and the They are on the outside. They create a different exposure, so it's very pleasant. So the building has a very pleasant atmosphere. The facades are painted aluminum, and the screen walls define the building and make a transition to the sky. I just don't have the touch. The screen walls also separate the main tower from the lower building. You see on the right side, you see the rails which guide the roller shades. And these roller shades are extruded stainless steel, and they are welded to a steel band, and they allow a total transparency towards the outside, which we'll show later. And so this is the shades down, the windows closed. You see the enclosure of the roller shades. Everything is visible. So in the lobby, we left everything away. You didn't need it. It's all concrete. There's a mesh ceiling. There's a granite floor, which at night becomes like a mirror. There's the elevator entrance. We found out that the black, bad concrete could be beautiful if you don't mess with it. And this is a inside view which shows the transparency, and you still can have a clear reading of the outside. This is a special room which has a ceiling. These light fixtures were designed by us. They have a downlight and an uplight component, and this is the other sides of the building have regular perforated inside shades which have a similar degree of transparency than the other ones. And this is the night effect, which with the uplight and the downlight component. So the building, as we just heard, has performed very well, and I think that it has led in other projects right now to an attitude that that as architects, especially when we do housing, that we have to think more of doing more with less. And I assume that this is why we thank the CTBUH for nominating us in this final list. This building should be standing for a social and economic consciousness we have as architects to believe that that we have to innovate by offering more for less money. Thank you.